heavy hemorrhaging of the blood vessels around the eyes and inside the mouth and nose, general hostility to others, and for the whispering to increase to almost deafening volume.
What is going on, ladies and gents, and welcome back to another video. Today we check out SCP-035. This is from SCP Illustrated, and this is the Possessive Mask. Now, if you watched the top 22 scariest SCPs that I released a few days ago, which I suggest you do, this was one of the SCPs in there, I believe, the mask. We haven't actually covered it. It has been suggested a few times, and as far as I know, it's a mask that's like the old theatre mask, you know, like the happy face and the sad face. It releases some kind of weird acid from its orifices, and it can possess and control people, dead or alive. So definitely not some SCP you want to come face to face with. And I know that the Foundation do a lot of containment on it, and it's pretty heavily contained. You're probably not gonna just go in and take it, are you? But anyway, if you are new to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. You can also follow me on Twitch for gameplay, and you can join our Discord for all the latest updates. You can talk to me, and your suggestion is more likely to be seen on the Discord. But anyway, we're gonna get into this video, man. Without further ado, let's get into this, the Possessive Mask.
Good day, everybody, and welcome to SCP Illustrated, entry log 35. In this entry, we'll be looking at SCP-035, also known as the Possessive Mask. Please note that this is a Keter level SCP. Description: SCP-035 appears to be a white porcelain comedy mask, although at times it will change to tragedy. In these events, all existing visual records such as photographs, video footage, even illustrations of SCP-035 automatically change to reflect its new appearance.
Whoa! I did not know that. So every picture, drawing, anything of this, as soon as it changes its face to the sad version, everything changes in those pictures too. That is crazy. That is crazy.
A highly corrosive and degenerative viscous liquid constantly seeps from the eye and mouth holes of SCP-035. Anything coming into contact with this substance slowly decays over a period of time, depending on the material, until it has decayed completely into a pool of the original contaminant. Glass seems to react the slowest to the effects of this item, hence the construction choice of its immediate container. Living organisms that come into contact with the substance react much the same way, with no chance of recovery. Origin of the liquid is unknown. Liquid is only visible from the front, and does not emerge or is even visible from the other side. Subjects within 1.5 to 2 meters.
So if I wear the mask, I know it controls you, but if I wear the mask, that shit doesn't get on my face, right?
Of SCP-035, or in visual contact with it, experience a strong urge to put it on. When SCP-035 is placed on the face of an individual, an alternate brainwave pattern from SCP-035 overlaps that of the original host, effectively snuffing it out and causing brain death to the subject. Subject then claims to be the consciousness contained within SCP-035. The bodies of possessed subjects decay at a highly accelerated rate, eventually becoming little more than mummified corpses. Nevertheless, SCP-035 has demonstrated the ability to remain in cognitive control of a body experiencing severe structural damage, even if the subject's body literally decays to the point where motion is not mechanically possible. No effect is found to be had when placed on the face of an animal. Conversations.
So, oh god. So this mask obviously cries and fucking disgusting viscous decaying liquid that you cannot reverse the effects of. So once it touches you, your body breaks down. If you get into close proximity of this mask, you have a very, very powerful urge to put it on. And once you put it on, your body starts to decay pretty fast, and you embody the consciousness of the mask. So yeah, this mask, pretty fucked up. I would not want to come into contact with this shit, bro. Definitely one of the more scary SCPs we have done so far.
SCP-035 have proven to be informative. Researchers have learned various details about other SCP objects and history in general, as SCP-035 claims to have been at many momentous events. SCP-035 displays a highly intelligent and charismatic personality, being both amiable and flattering to all those who speak with it. SCP-035 has scored in the 99th percentile on all intelligence and aptitude tests administered to it, and appears to have a photographic memory.
Fair enough.
However,
I've always wondered, man, what it's like to have a photographic memory. Like, do you remember every single detail of your life? Or can you just recall it? You know what I mean? I don't know, like, would you remember everything? I mean, it seems like most people do remember everything. But when I've seen documentaries and people, they recollect things like the clothes they were wearing and stuff like that. But they don't always get every detail of the day. So I don't know exactly how it works. But, I mean, the mask is in the top 1% of intelligence. So, I mean, definitely makes it even worse.
Psychological analysis has discovered SCP-035 to possess a highly manipulative nature, capable of forcing sudden and profound changes to interviewers' psychological state. SCP-035 has proven to be highly sadistic, prompting some to commit suicide and transforming others into near mindless servants with linguistic persuasion alone.
Oof.
SCP-035 has stated that it has intimate knowledge of the workings of the human mind and implied that it could change anyone's views if given enough time. Additional. SCP-035 was found in a sealed crypt in an abandoned house in Venice in 18... Special Containment Procedures. SCP-035 is to be kept within a hermetically sealed glass case no fewer than 10 cm thick. This case is to be contained within a steel, iron and lead shielded room at all times. Doors are to be triple locked at all times with the exception of allowing personnel in or out. No fewer than 2 armed guards are to be posted at any time. Guards must remain outside at all times and are not allowed within the containment room under any circumstances. A trained psychologist is to remain on site at all times. Research personnel are not to touch SCP-035. SCP-035 must be moved to a new sealed case every 2 weeks.
Jesus.
The previous case must be disposed of via SCP-101, as it shows no adverse reactions to SCP-035's corruption. Anyone who comes into contact with SCP-035 when it is in the possession of a host is to be given an immediate psychological evaluation.
Oof. So, obviously this liquid breaks down the case every, what did he say, 2 weeks. It said that liquid breaks down every substance, but glass is the most resistant, so that means whatever this is destroys glass in 2 weeks and everything else in less than 2 weeks. That's crazy. This mask is fucked up. I don't know what SCP-101 is. Let me see what SCP-101 is. Okay, so apparently SCP is some kind of mouth. So obviously they feed the containers to it and it eats it and nothing happens. So yeah, let's continue.
Addendum 035-01. SCP-035 has been found to be able to possess anything that has a humanoid shape, including mannequins, corpses and statues. SCP-035 has been able to motivate all into movement, removing the need to expose live subjects to SCP-035. Still, anything it possesses inevitably decays into motionlessness. Addendum 035-02. SCP-035 has facilitated an escape attempt, convincing several of the research staff to aid in its bid for freedom.
Okay.
Insurrection failed. All staff that had been in contact with SCP-035 have been terminated, and mandatory psychiatric evaluations have been implemented for all personnel coming in contact with SCP-035.
Rip, he tried to go, he tried to escape, and everyone died as a result. Not that he cares, you know, but anyway.
Addendum 035-03. It has been determined that SCP-035 is capable of telepathy, whether or not it possesses a host, even penetrating to the subconscious of others and using the knowledge it finds to its advantage. Extreme caution is to be advised when choosing subjects to converse with SCP-035. Addendum 035-04. SCP-035 has expressed an interest in other SCPs, most notably SCP-517 and SCP-682. Dr. has expressed worry that should SCP-035 bond with either, their regenerative qualities could negate its corruption and give it a permanent host.
Right.
Addendum.
That makes sense.
035.
That makes sense. So if the mask goes on Lizard Boy, right? That's the mask's downfall, because it can't possess something for too long or it breaks down. But if it goes on something immortal that regenerates, or the lizard, which is pretty much immortal, if he goes on that, the lizard will just regenerate and eventually probably become immune to it, right? And he can control it, or more than likely he thinks at least he could control the lizard and have a permanent host and do what he wants. And imagine him controlling that bloody lizard. No way.
5-05. After several more escape attempts and after reviewing SCP-035's incident record, High Command has ordered that it be permanently sealed within the facility and prohibited from being allowed any more hosts. Several personnel have protested against this, with some even erupting into violence. As a direct result, all personnel that have come into contact with SCP-035 have been terminated. Going forward, all personnel that deal with SCP-035 are to be rotated frequently, and contact is to be limited even to its dormant state to as little as possible. Addendum 035-06. Personnel within 10 meters of SCP-035 have recently reported feeling unease, stating that they can hear unintelligible whispering. Several others have suffered from severe migraines. Object has been monitored, but there is no change in its dormant behaviour, and no sounds have been recorded. The motion to reinstate SCP-035's host's privileges have been brought up once more, if only on a temporary basis to discover these new changes in the object's behaviour. Request denied. Addendum 034-07. The walls of SCP-035's containment cell have suddenly begun secreting a black substance. Tests on the substance have revealed it to be human blood, although highly contaminated with several foreign and unknown agents. Substance is corrosive, having a pH of 4.5, and prolonged exposure to the walls has proven to be detrimental to their structural integrity. More notably, it seems to be forming patterns on the walls. Several segments seem to be paragraphs in various languages, including Italian, Latin, Greek, and Sanskrit. Translation is pending.
Here's a question for you, ladies and gents. Can you speak any other languages? I know we have quite a diverse group of viewers. I know I've checked the analytics, US mainly, then UK. I think Germany has quite a few, Netherlands, Russia. So yeah, what languages can you speak? Let me know in the comments below.
Other segments appear to be diagrams depicting ritualistic sacrifice and mutilation, often for the arcane benefit of the person committing them. Several staff members have been shocked to note that all of the sacrifices bear an uncanny resemblance to various personnel and their loved ones, often in conflicting positions. Researchers, while in the room examining these newly formed patterns, have complained of hearing loud whispering and high-pitched, unnerving laughter at irregular intervals.
No.
Personnel in the section...
Is this like the show? Is this like the theatre show that the mask is from? You know what I mean? Because the laughter and the whispering and stuff is something you would hear at the theatre, right? Yeah, that'd be fucked up.
Working daily near and around SCP-035's containment unit have suffered catastrophic morale damage and an all-time high in suicide rates in staff in that area, whether or not they have come into contact with SCP-035. The only change in SCP-035's dormant behaviour is regarding its contained glass case. Degradation of that case has increased to a high degree, enough so that the glass will occasionally shatter, causing a wide dispersal of SCP-035's contaminants. This occurs quite often at the most inopportune times, so far resulting in 6 casualties and 3 fatalities of both research and cleanup staff.
Yeah, of course. Of course it happens at the most inopportune time. Of course, like, what could go wrong? Murphy's Law, everything. Everything could go wrong. Literally everything is going wrong.
035-08. In light of the mass suicide and homicide of the members of the research team tasked with translating the passages garnered from SCP-035's containment cell, the morale damage in the area and general loss of staff dealing with SCP-035 to either death or insanity, it has been decided to coat the inner and outer walls of its containment cell with SCP-148, which has proved well in the containment of SCP-132, in order to hopefully block out the high levels of negativity being emitted by SCP-035. Addendum 035-09. The use of SCP-148 has worked well, causing morale and suicide rates to return to near pre-SCP-035 rates. However, the material appears to facilitate the negativity within the cell, causing a veritable greenhouse effect inside. Personnel inside the cell have stated that they feel a heavy sense of dread, fear, anger and general depression, as well as hearing constant near inaudible whispering upon immediate entry. A prolonged stay causes severe migraines, suicidal tendencies, heavy hemorrhaging of the blood vessels around the eyes and inside the mouth and nose, general hostility to others, and for the whispering to increase to almost deafening volumes, intersected by a constant mocking laughter. Exposure of more than 3 hours inevitably...
Oh, bleeding eyes. That is not something that you want to hear. That is not something you want to hear. The only way my eyes are bleeding is if I get a Sharing gun and I can use it. That's the only way there's blood coming from my eye, ladies and gents. Oh, that's disgusting. I just searched up what 148 is. Apparently it's metallic substance. So obviously that insulates the effects from, like, you know, leaking out of the room. But all of that leakage is now staying in the room, and it just amplifies the effects when you go in there. So anyone that is exposed to it probably has, well, like he said, probably way worse problems.
Results in the subject falling into a deep psychosis and attempting to harm either themselves or others. Most spoke in Latin or Greek, despite the fact that several did not previously know how to speak said languages beforehand. The presence of blood in both word and diagram formations has increased disproportionately, the walls becoming cluttered and the formations beginning to overlap each other. The substance has proven to be both difficult to clean and even more corrosive than what was originally recorded, with a pH of roughly 2.4.
Yikes.
General estimation gives the current walls a life of 2 months before they will need replacement. It is becoming gradually more and more difficult to contain SCP-035, and the debate to reinstate its host privileges has once again come up. Request denied. Addendum.
Can you not destroy this? Is there no way to destroy this mask? It seems like one that you would need to destroy. And a pH of 2.4. Fucking hell, like, what's the pH scale? 1 to 14. And 7 is neutral, which is water, right? And obviously 8 was 8 neutral. I think 7 is 7.5, whatever neutral is. I don't remember exactly. And if you go either side, it's quite neutral. The higher you go, alkaline, bleach, and stuff like that. The lower you go, acidic. 2.4. That is almost close to being as acidic as you can. Before he said, it wasn't that acidic before. He said like 4 or 5, right? Which is quite corrosive, but still not that bad. The 2.4, that shit will dissolve metal and shit pretty easily, you know?
035-10. The wall, ceiling and floor of SCP-035's containment cell have now been completely saturated in blood.
Where's the blood coming from?
All personnel entering and guarding the area must wear full hazmat protection suits. Constant cleaning efforts are being instated. Addendum 035-11. The magnitude, intensity and recurrence of the phenomena that occur within SCP-035's containment cell have increased to an alarming degree. The cell door has been known to become locked of its own accord while personnel are inside, and unable to be opened for a period of time. Appendages form out of the larger puddles of blood and often attempt to grab or harm personnel near them. Blurry apparitions have started appearing to staff, electronic devices no longer work inside the cell and the light cannot be turned on, though there is no physical reason why it does not work, forcing those entering to use non-electric based light sources. Cleaning measures are having no discernible effect on the cell, and the walls are degrading.
That's even creepier. Imagine walking in with a fucking lantern, just like... It's kind of cool though, I want a lantern.
At a very high rate, forcing them to replace within a week at best, although the blood makes it nearly impossible to properly achieve this. SCP-035 may have to be moved to a new cell entirely, with the old one sealed off and disengaged from the rest of the facility.
Just destroy it, I guess.
And that concludes SCP-035. Thank you everyone.
So that's the end of that, man. Thank you to SCP Illustrated. Great video as usual. So yeah, this mask is creepy, bro. It's creepy to say the least. I know why it's in the top 22 scariest SCPs now. Because literally, I mean, obviously, Tat's top videos didn't in that video go into so much detail on why this thing is so fucking creepy. But Jesus, man, all of that stuff happens. It started off alright. Maybe it needs a host. Maybe it needs a host to stop these things. But it seems like it's getting angry. And the angrier it gets, the harder it is to contain. You see the blood dripping from the walls, people going insane, people killing themselves. They contained it, stops its effects from leaking out with SCP-148, and now it's even more angry. So when you go in there to maintain its cell and stuff, Jesus Christ, you're in big trouble. That's all I can say. But yeah, definitely a creepy SCP. I'd put it right up there. I'd put it right up there with some of the scariest ones we've seen. And we've seen quite a few scary ones, man. But this one is definitely up there. But anyway, man, let me know what you guys thought on this, man. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.